Can you hear my war cry? Lyrics banging the bottom, you like a 4-5. I'm a chief, I'm an Indian. I go to war with anyone. My voice is like an instrument. I'm in the game, they on the bench. So that mean I'm in the field. I tell a bitch don't touch me, but believe I'm about to cop a pill. Pop a pill. Feeling like an astronaut. Started from the bottom, baby. Now look at me at the top. That bass go boom, 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 boom. Coming out the gut. That 808 boom, 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 boom. Feel the aftershock.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dum Yinzers. This is episode 175. Well, good morning, Michael. How you doing today, sir?
Oh, I am living the dream. It's Friday.
It is Friday. It's going to be a nice Friday. I was getting a forecast of 65 degrees today, upward to 70 over the next few days. So we're getting a little bit of a break before it decides to stay cold.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cold winter this year, so enjoy these last few days.
Yeah, you know that. I was just looking at something before I came on today, Mike. Check these 6 teams out. This is in the NFL the 6 best fourth quarter point differentials in the teams.
Okay.
The Vikings have a plus 24. The Giants have a plus 26. And this is in the fourth quarter. Bengals got a plus 28, plus 23. Colts got a plus 36. And the largest point differential in the fourth quarter by an NFL team is the Jets. Mike, they are plus 48.
Wow.
Plus 48. Just look at these. I mean, the Jets, of course, by itself is a thing. But look at these 6 teams. The Jets, the Colts, the Cardinals, Bengals, Giants, Vikings. These 6 teams have the best fourth quarter point differential in the league.
That is surprising for the Jets. The Colts are up there, and their record is not the best.
No. And of course, the other teams are kind of overachieving. The Vikings are, I think, overachieving a bit. The Giants, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets.
I think the Giants might be for real.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought of that at one point, but I think we're going to still have to wait a little while. And then their quarterback situation isn't that fantastic. And what are you going to do? I mean, how far are you going to go with this guy? So I think they have other pieces in place that are really important for moving forward and getting, being a better team.
Yeah.
But they really have to address this quarterback situation and, make something happen there before I think they go anywhere further.
Hey, as long as he does enough for them to win and not lose a game, get the Trent Dilfer effect going on.
Yeah.
So that's about all you need, man.
I don't think
they're finding ways to make it work, man. Saquon Barkley is just, they're giving him certain plays like out of the Wildcat that are like slam dunk type plays, and he's hitting on them just to gain Emmanuel Echo, whatever. He does ESPN analysis, and he broke some of this stuff down on Twitter about what the Giants were doing in their run game to get Barkley more involved to steal possessions. And their coaching staff, man, they're just making smart, sound decision to mitigate the pass to put Daniel Jones in the good positions when he does throw. So I think they might be for real.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem I see with that is once a team, comes along with a strong defense and they game plan for Barkley, let's say, a better team in the league, and they stop him and they hold him to about 60 yards a game. And you are playing a better team. Mm-hmm. I think that the Giants are at a disadvantage because of the quarterback, and I don't know if the Giants are as strong as the Ravens were in 2000 or the Buccaneers in 2002-03 to be able to have the Trent Dilfer effect. But like I said, they have good things going on. Get them a nice franchise quarterback, and maybe another big player here or there. I think they are really close.
Yeah.
They're a good franchise. They have 4 Super Bowl wins. A lot of people don't even realize they have 4 Super Bowl wins. So, it wouldn't be anything strange to see the Giants have a good season.
Yeah.
But I do think they still are a couple pieces away only because of that. Like, I can stop Barkley, then you turn into the Steelers, basically. What are you going to be able to do?
Yeah. He's completing 67% of his passes, only 5 touchdowns, but only 2 interceptions. So he's playing smart. He's playing smart ball.
Yeah.
So
sometimes smart don't equal points, though. You know what I mean? Look at the Steelers quarterbacks.
But they're up there in the fourth quarter point differential, so they're scoring when it matters. They're putting games away.
That's a tough division this year too. I mean, obviously you have the
yeah.
Eagles, you have the Cowboys. Between and having those two teams, I think that's going to tell some story.
Yeah.
As the season goes on, we'll be able to see the Giants play the Cowboys. We'll be able to see the Giants play the Eagles, and I think you're going to get a better
Because
idea.
they lost to the Cowboys. That was their only loss.
And I think this is where you start to tell what kind of a team the Giants really are, because when you get into big game situations, which division games are, you're basically going to see the same kind of team. So,
but they have like a cake schedule from here on out.
Do they?
Jacksonville, Seahawks, Texans, Lions, Cowboys, Washington twice, Eagles twice, then the Vikings and the Colts. So they have a couple games sprinkled in here and there to where they shouldn't be favored, but they have a lot where they should win a bunch of games.
Yeah, right.
They got they're the team that had the loser schedule actually work out in their favor, whereas Pittsburgh, our loser schedule has actually turned out to be the toughest schedule in the league.
Yes.
So the Giants, hey, you can't fall. They can only beat who they're playing.
Right.
So I'm never going to hold that against them.
Well, they do, like I said, they still have a world of. I want to see them play the Cowboys again. I want to see them play the Eagles, and even the team in Washington. I mean, even the worst team in the division is always a tough game for a division team. So I think a lot's going to come down to this quarterback when games matter. Of course, they're going to ride the Barkley thing out through the whole season. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You have to. Mm-hmm. But once it comes down to it, you start playing meaningful, tough games, maybe in an environment that's not your own. You go into another city who's very loud, then you're going to kind of see what you have from this quarterback. The kid's been around a couple of years. He's been their starter. They haven't really, he's been their guy. So, I mean, obviously they see something in him, Jones.
Yeah. I don't know. He's
average at best, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, without a doubt, he's average at best. But he's just not the greatest thing ever. He was when they picked him, that was too high.
Absolutely.
He was not. I don't know. 50 touchdowns, 31 picks.
How many years has he been in the league now?
I know. It's not giving me like his career where I'm at. ESPN stat page sucks. It sucks. Their website sucks. This is his 4th year. Shut up. I mean, look at it. Like first year, 24 touchdowns, 12 picks. Then 11 and 10, 10 and 7, 5 and 2. He's his quarterback rating every year is sub 100, but you got to think that the team around him is not that good.
Yeah. So,
but now they're getting better, man. They had, they're trending in the right direction. Is he the guy to bring them forward? Past performance really doesn't, give you a good indication of future performance because you can turn it around. But he's just he is what he is at this point. I don't think there is a next level.
I'm going to tell you what he is. He's the reason that the Giants don't go any further. If you, like I said, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there's still a lot of football left. There's 11 games in the season. A lot can happen between now and the end of this thing. So, I mean, he is going to be what he's going to be. And, Barkley's going to do what he does. And at the end of the day, teams are going to see that. They're going to game plan that. And the burden's going to be on making him beat you. So,
like so far, he hasn't been the reason this year that they lost the game. But in his career, he's not going to be – he's going into like that Kirk Cousins type. He's not going to lose you the game, but he's not going to win you the game.
Yeah,
like that, like Alex Smith was. If he plays it smart, plays safe ball, he'll get you wins, but he's not going to be the reason you win.
Yeah,
he might not be the reason you lose. So I don't know if they build their team the way they have that team built right now. That's kind of what you need. So, but it's going to be once they start playing some tougher opponents, which who knows when they're going to play those tougher opponents. Because depending on what Jacksonville team you get, that game right there could be a test.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jacksonville's building a nice little defense over there.
When I was getting ready for the show today, I was looking down through the games because today is pick day, and that was one of the games that caught my attention. I thought that should be a good game to watch. The Giants at Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. I think both of these teams are kind of on the same level, just in different areas. They're both trying to, get a little bit better. I think that the Giants, Trevor Lawrence is Saquon Barkley. So that's what I mean by just different places. They have shining pieces in different places.
Yeah.
Where, Jacksonville might be missing this, the Giants have that. So I think they're very similar. I think that game this week between the two at Jacksonville is going to be a good game.
Yeah, even though Jacksonville's 2-4, they have some. Trevor Lawrence has shown why he was picked number 1 overall. Stats aren't the greatest, but he improved from last year to this year. Huge steps.
And the thing is about Trevor Lawrence, the kid's a baller. I mean, you've seen him play the whole way through college.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen some of the things he could do in the pros. This kid, he's going to be good, barring something crazy happening, maybe some kind of crazy injury or some decision he might wake up one day and say, you know what, Luck did and say, I'm going to hang it up. Other than that, I think, this guy, there's not going to be really much that's going to stop him from being a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, they have a pretty good running attack. James Robinson has rebounded after that bad injury he had last year. They have a nice little rotation going on with him and Travis Etienne. They're both 300. They each have over 300 yards rushing at this point in the season, averaging, Robinson 4.2, Etienne 5.6. So they can get a nice little running attack going. They each average over 50 yards a game. So you're getting 100 yards out of your rushing attack right there between those two. And Lawrence is not afraid to tuck and run. So they have a nice little ground game. The receivers, oh man, I didn't realize Christian Kirk was having this good of a year. 4 touchdowns already through 6 games. He's playing pretty well. They have pieces on offense. Their defense is coming along. They're a team to look out for in the future.
Absolutely.
They finally seem to be getting stuff figured out. They had that big mistake last year bringing in Urban Meyer that just totally ruined that team.
Yeah.
But they're, the record's 2-4, but they've been competitive just about every game. Every game has been close. They lost the first game by 6 points. They blew out the Colts, blew out the Chargers. Then you lose by 8 to the Eagles. They lose to the lowly Titans, which that's the only one that makes me go, But then the Colts got their revenge against them, but it was only a touchdown loss. So this team they're there.
Yeah.
They just have to get a little more consistent. I think next year they're going to be a team to look out for.
And especially in that division, it's up for grabs, in my opinion. Between the Colts, Texans, Titans, and the Jaguars, whoever does step up to take that role as the team, it's there for the picking. It isn't even like you have to beat somebody out to be at that spot.
Yeah.
You just got to play good enough football, and the rest of the division ain't that good. So you have a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah.
The
Colts are set at 3-2-1 in first place.
Yeah.
And, it's just not like Jacksonville's that far off.
And the Colts are there an early exit. You know what I mean? Considering, look at the power of the teams around the AFC with Buffalo and the Chiefs and yada, yada, yada. You get into the playoffs, the Colts are, they're an early exit team. So, I mean, that's the team that is heading your division right now. So, that's got to be encouraging for Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're look out for the future. You hear that a lot with some teams, but you're seeing it that they had last year they were god awful. This year they're in games.
Yeah.
So what happens when you suck for a long time? You get those good players like them and the Jets, man. But this is the fun part of the year now, man. You're quarter of the way through. Teams are you're figuring out what team, what every team actually is. The elite are separating themselves. The bad teams are, falling off, and then you have that big clump in the middle.
Yeah.
So, at this point in the season, you are who you are. And, right now, Jacksonville's that team that's not good enough to make that next step this year, but look out for them next year.
Let's going to stay in the NFL. Thursday Night Football last night. The New Orleans Saints traveled to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Now, this game has a little significance here on the show because we were talking about the five legs that the Saints were trying to beat to win.
Yeah.
To win the gauntlet of the bird team gauntlet, and they were winning. They had 2 wins. Last night was their 3rd matchup, but it was against the Cardinals. You know what? It wasn't a bad game. It just wasn't the Saints' night. The Cardinals win 42-34. So this will not be the first team to beat all 5 bird teams in a season.
No, they will not. I'm highly disappointed in that. But that game, man. Whew. That's what I get for putting my faith in Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
we watched him choke how many games away at the Bengals, and here I am thinking, he pulling out.
When I seen that he was the quarterback, I thought, oh shit, this ain't gonna happen. He's not bad. He's average. And I think he's a little better than average.
He's Andy Dalton.
He's Andy Dalton. He's that kid from the Christmas Story.
He does. He looks like the kid that got beat up.
Yeah.
Scott Fargus. Yeah.
Fargus. Scott. Did you know his name is Scott, not Scott? Not Scott. It's actually Scott. Yeah. If you look that up, it's his name is Scott Fargus.
No, I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, check it out.
Nope, I ain't looking it up.
I'm
not having my childhood ruined.
And then last night, that wasn't the only game on. The Mike, another game of significance here on the show. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets lose to Virginia, 16-9.
Oh, that final play will live in infamy.
I didn't see the final play. However, this puts Pitt back in control of their own destiny. If Pitt could win out in a pretty sad Coastal Division in the ACC, they could be going back to Charlotte for the championship game. They don't, all the teams that are left are totally beatable. I think the one that they're gonna, the big one that they're gonna be built, it's gonna be built as a big game will be the Miami game at the end of the year. But seriously, by Georgia Tech dropping this game, that puts Pitt back in control of their own destiny, and I like that.
Yeah, and that final play in the game, Georgia Tech quarterback rolling out, out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, didn't even throw the ball. I'm sitting there watching that highlights. I'm like, did my man just like run out of bounds?
Yeah. So I had the NFL game on. Matter of fact, I didn't even think of the Georgia Tech game till late, but you know what? It worked out in our favor, in Pitt's favor. So we'll take it.
I went to bed. I was so tired yesterday.
In the NHL, the Pittsburgh Penguins beat the visiting Los Angeles Kings last night 6-1. That's the third home game in a row. The Pittsburgh Penguins scored 6 goals this season. Every home game, they're 3-0-1. All 3 of the wins were 6 points.
That's insane. Hey, they're just going off. Like you score 3 chili. It's a conspiracy. The boys know it. They're like, no, we're not giving these people free chili.
Well, they play tomorrow. They're probably not going to get 6 goals because it's not at home. They're traveling to Central Ohio to play the Columbus Blue Jackets. That game's at 7:00 tomorrow.
Let's go Pens. Beat the Blue Jackets. I hate like Columbus has always tried to make this into like a rivalry game.
We don't care about Columbus.
No, you're not a rival.
No.
You're a bug on the window sheet.
If you're an Ohio team in any sport, that's all you are, just a bug.
Yep. The rivals like in our conference, obviously, the Phillies. Obviously, Philadelphia and Washington are the 2 big rivals.
Yeah.
In the Metro. So I don't know what Columbus is trying to pull here. Like I remember, like when Columbus was like really bad, you go down there. It was like another home game for the Penguins. The Penguins have like that little 3-year window where they're making the playoffs. We're going to do this, that, and then you just get promptly shut down.
I'm just glad. I mean, he leapfrogged. He leapfrogged from Columbus over to Philadelphia. But I'm just glad that John Tortellini isn't over there. So I did not like that guy, but now he's over in Philly. But that is that's just match made in weirdo heaven. Yes. Philadelphia Flyers and John Tortellini.
Oh, he's the worst. He's just a terrible human being.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He is. You just listen to the way he talks and the way he talks about his players, treats the media. No, he's the worst. He's a terrible human being. I hate him.
And from the ice to the diamond, the Astros, they go 2-0 on the Yankees, Mike. The Astros win 3-2 last night in Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. They got the day off. But in the National League Series, the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres play Game 3. That series is tied 1 game apiece. Game is at 7:37 tonight.
I want to see like a San Diego Houston World Series. 2 teams, one in the West, one in the Central time zone. It just piss everyone off because Major League Baseball does not want that off.
No, they want the Phillies and the Yankees.
Yep, because that'd be an East Coast thing, and it'd just be perfect.
Right across the river.
Yep.
You could.
Yep, but no, I'm hoping for the San Diego Padres and the Houston Astros. So that means I just cursed both teams, so now we are going to end up with the Yankees-Phillies World Series.
Brady finally responding to the Big Ben's comments where Ben said it didn't look like Tom Brady wanted to play on Sunday. Tom Brady replies, he says, I don't think anyone's happy in their job when it's not right. And that's it. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think that there's a lot going on, obviously, with Tom Brady in his personal life, but I think that it's a combination of a bunch of things right now that's probably built up inside of his head.
Yeah, and Brady kind of like Brady probably was like didn't want to come out and say yeah he was right.
Right.
That
Yeah.
He did look like he wouldn't be anywhere else but there, like when things started to go right. So,
You're right.
And Brady's right. Like when any job that you have, when things start going bad, you instantly get that look of like, I don't want to be here. And then once that creeps in, you're done for the day.
Right.
You're done. You're just at that point, you're riding the clock out, literally waiting for time to go home and just like get this day over with.
Right.
And it's nice to see that it happens to a 7-time Super Bowl winner, not just everyone else.
Not just the humans.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey was a name that came up big yesterday. Like a lot of people were saying, bring Christian McCaffrey here here from the Carolina Panthers. However, that's not going to happen.
No.
Christian McCaffrey is going. He's going to San Francisco. San Francisco and the Carolina Panthers are making a trade. The 49ers get Christian McCaffrey. And the Carolina Panthers get this from the 49ers. Second round pick in 2023, a third round pick in 2023, a fourth round pick in 2023, and a fifth round pick in 2024.
That is the definition of win now.
Yeah.
That is a win now trade for what they gave up.
Absolutely.
So now you have Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuels. They have that George Kittle tight end. That stud wide receiver whose name I cannot pronounce, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. They got weapons.
Yeah,
they are going all in. Man, they were going all in. It's gonna be fun to see how. There's only one football to go around.
What I like about this, Mike, is there's not one team in the NFC that stands out, such as in the AFC your Buffalo Bills or your Kansas City Chiefs. The NFC doesn't have that team. I mean, you could say Philadelphia if you want to jump on that. However, these teams like Philadelphia, sometimes they have these really good seasons. They get in the playoffs and shit out. I think San Francisco really has a chance to be that front runner type team in the NFC. This is a team that's been together for a few years, and with the exception of bringing McCaffrey in, you're going to tell me you're yanking without saying you're yanking Carolina, P. What's going on, P? But yeah, I think San Francisco would better fit the bill of that team, Mike, of the team heading the way in the NFC. Like I said, I mean, a 5-0, 6-0 Philadelphia team. We've seen this before.
Yeah,
we've seen this before. We've seen that situation, and Andy Reid had this team 4 years in a row go to the NFC Championship. Just something about Philadelphia. The one game that they end up, finally getting in the Super Bowl and winning with the Philadelphia special play. It seemed like it was meant to be. Otherwise, I'm not totally sold on this Philadelphia Eagles thing, but I am thinking that the power that the 49ers have now by picking up McCaffrey and all those other skill players, like you said, Kittles, and it goes on. I think San Fran now becomes the team to beat in the NFC.
Right now, I'm still going with the Eagles. I understand what you're saying, but the Eagles, they beat everyone in front of them. It's not, no impressive real opponents there, but they're beating who they have to beat. And it kind of has that feel of like when Pittsburgh, that year we routed off 10 in a row. Kind of has that feel to it. People are looking at it like, are they really that good or not? But
Philadelphia's a team of chokers. They always choke. That's why I just can't buy into them.
Yeah, and like just Jalen Hurts coming out of nowhere.
And do you see Jalen Hurts beating good quarterbacks? You know what I mean? Like, let's just say that he has to play the Bills in a Super Bowl, or I don't think he wins that matchup. I think that those quarterbacks are he may prove me wrong. I don't think that he will. But let's just say he faces a Mahomes or Allen, or that's just a total different level. Yeah, he's doing good things. He's making it happen. He has his team, in a pretty good spot at this point in the season. But once he goes head to head with a quarterback who's the real deal, I think that it's curtains for Hurts.
Yeah, I think too, because we talked about it before, man. His numbers coming into the season were not the best, but he's playing lights out right now. And he's almost 67% completion percentage.
I want to see him do this
man.
the full 24 weeks for the year.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I do too. I want to see him go the full run.
Yeah.
But right now, man, he's playing so well. It's hard to knock him.
Absolutely. I just have zero faith at all in the Philadelphia Eagles, so I will knock him a bit. I have never seen this team really impress me in my life. I just haven't. They choke, and I was surprised that they won the one that they did. So
yeah.
Let's move on. Deshaun Watson with a speeding ticket in Ohio. Deshaun Watson, who's in a bunch of trouble already for his love for the ladies, he gets a speeding ticket in Ohio for 97 miles an hour. Like 97 miles an hour.
97 and a 70. So
where are these guys going? And he has to be 30 miles an hour whenever the speed limit is 70.
Oh, cool. All right. Is he going to
a
Pennsylvania? You have no reason to talk about anyone's drive.
Is he trying to get to the parlor to get his massage?
Probably. But come on. Like
he's going 100 miles an hour, Mike. I don't care where you're at.
Dude,
even the Autobahn, 100 miles an hour is fast.
I've driven PA. I've driven, I've driven every highway in PA. You people drive like 95 and a 35 like it's nothing.
But we're not NFL football players under the radar.
So then the cops know exactly what car he's driving in. And that's
we're talking about him because he's a specific isolated story.
But so he's just keeping up with the flow of traffic. If he was on the turnpike,
so they knew him. They knew to pull him over. Is what you're saying.
Those people zoomed.
They had an eye open for Deshaun Watson. They said, this guy is going 100 amongst other cars going 100. We got to pull him over.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I don't know. So to like literally be pulled over on these highways, you have to be going.
Absolutely.
Because most of these cars in a 70, I'll go like 75, 78. And I get past standard still. So I'm finally happy they got caught one of these idiots that are driving.
I'm glad the idiot was Deshaun Watson.
Me too. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to sit here and let a Pennsylvanian lecture a Ohioan on speed.
I've driven through many of states. I've driven through
PA drivers are the worst.
As a matter of fact, I've driven the highways in PA probably less than all the other states because why would I drive the highways in PA? I live here. When I go elsewhere, Ohio, down south, through West Virginia, the Carolinas, you're on the highways.
I do have to say, though, West Virginia has some of the best highways I've ever driven on in this country. And the West Virginia drivers on the highway, they drive in the right lane. They're only in the left lane when they pass I love driving through West Virginia. Fuck driving through Ohio and PA on the highway.
Now that you're done with your little love fest of the West Virginians, let's talk some more about the Steelers. Yesterday, it came heavy, Mike. It came real heavy about the Packers being interested in trying to get Chase Claypool. And through the day, it got heavier and heavier. And by the end of the day, I'm reading that the Packers are willing to overpay. They're willing to give way more than what they should be getting for Chase Claypool. I think you can't trade him at this point of the season. I think that throws in the towel too much for me. Even if it isn't, it gives that feel. It's going to give the feeling to the fans that, you know what, we don't have a chance. Let's give him. I don't think you can do it if you're the Steelers. But the Packers, they're being really aggressive.
Like, if they're dangling a first-round pick, I'm doing it.
First-round pick and maybe a little something else, too, I mean, look at everything that Carolina got from McCaffrey.
Well, McCaffrey and Claypool, that's comparing apples to nematodes.
But this is the one. This is the need in Green Bay. This, they're willing to give away a lot.
Oh, yeah. I get no credit for nematode.
You're a toad.
But no, if they're dangling a one, just straight up a first round pick for him, I'm taking it. I'm taking it for someone who's underperformed their entire career. You're going to hold on to just in case he breaks out. He had one good game. That can't blind you to the way he's been his entire career.
Let's see, it's Wisconsin. You have to overpay me to go. Yeah, you ain't kidding.
And hearing people talk like this,
Yeah.
The Yoopers.
Don't you know?
I'm going to Argo,
I'm going to drink a soda, don't you know?
And those fans, I think they're owners. Oh, I own the team. I got a share of it.
Oh, again with
try go to an NFL owner meeting. You'll get laughed out of there. You're not an owner. You were part of a con. But anyway, yeah, if they're offering a 1, I'd take it, or a 2 with a bunch of other picks sprinkled in there. Fuck yeah,
I would,
because you can trade him. You trade him, and that's going to automatically open up a spot. Boom, you activate Calvin Austin. No other roster moves need made.
The thing about this is, I would, like you said, maybe go straight up and say, yeah, I will take your first round pick, but throw something else out there as well. You have this good offensive tackle who isn't really getting a chance to play. Throw him in there. Maybe because the guy in front of him is an all-pro, whatever. Try to get something a little more, and then settle for best case scenario.
Because right now they're sitting at 3-3, man. You get a middle of the first round pick the way they're going, but if they collapse, kind of like they're teetering onto, that would be perfect. Get 2 high picks, or get a mid pick for them if you can get them in the first round. Even if they offer, okay, we're gonna give you a second, a 6 this year, and then like a 7th next year. Take it. Get more draft capital.
This will be, Mike. This will be the first time that Minkah goes back to Miami. Now I say it like that because he already played Miami when he was at the Steelers. The first time the season came over, and he managed to get 2 interceptions. So this is going to be his first game back in Miami. This is going to be Flores' first game back to Miami. I think that this has a lot of things going in our favor, Mike. It just has a feel, like I told you, I was going to take the Steelers over Miami, but we will be doing the picks here shortly. This kind of game just spells great game for Minkah Fitzpatrick to me.
I don't think so. I don't know. I hope so, because he's that type of player. Like, if he has a great game, you're not going to be surprised by it.
Yeah.
But like this, like what he was saying, like, I'm feeling nostalgic going back there. Dude, you played a season and like 2 games there.
Yeah.
There's not that much memories there, I don't think.
But it is Miami.
But
I can see things being a lot more memorable in Miami than maybe other cities.
Well, a lot of stuff's going to be overblown because, he came from there. Brian Flores, he knows all the personnel there and all that fun stuff. We're gonna have this advantage. So everything's being talked up like we're gonna have this great advantage going in. That's going to be the narrative. So when we lose, inevitably, because they're a better team, the narrative is going to be such bad coaching. Brian Flores, he knew all these guys and he wasn't able to, give all the dirt to the Steelers, and they weren't able to they had all this advantage and they couldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm already seeing the narrative be set. Or if we do come in and win, it's going to be all like McDaniels over on there. He didn't change anything up from when he took over and let Brian Flores walk all over him. That's the narrative that's being made in the media.
P. Morton says, I spent almost a year in the Great Lakes, Illinois, and I'm convinced the 5th gate of hell is somewhere in that area, considering the weather. People freeze to death in the winter and die of heat stroke in the summer. Yeah.
That's the Midwest.
It
is hell.
Mike, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're on pace. The Steelers are on pace to score the fewest amount of points since the 1998 season. I think that it's going to change.
We need some cow power.
I think that it's going to change. Consistency. Once you're able to string a couple series together, once you're able to string a couple halves together, once you're able to string a couple games together, you're going to start to see better things happen. Right now, we're still trying to create an identity for this team.
Well, they can't.
But it's going to be consistency. Anything consistent is going to be the identity of this team, and you've got to do something eventually, right? You can't go all season scoring 17 points a game.
No, but this team can't, because the quarterback play's not been the best. It hasn't. There's been flashes from both quarterbacks of, hey, we can get it done, we can move the ball, and then there's long, desolate stretches of nothingness.
I tell you what, a lot of the inconsistencies that I've seen so far, I mean, yes, the quarterback, the defense 1 week will look real good, the next week they'll look bad, the next week they'll look good. So it's a whole team thing to me. I think the whole team has to be more consistent overall. Nobody could sit back and say, well, you know what, we're consistent, so everybody else has to really do the work around here. I think go around the horn every position, with the exception maybe the tight end is not quite consistent. And
like Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think the only player immune from any criticism for the most part is Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
he's the guy that cleans up everything that busted assignment. Who's over there covering up? Minka. Yeah,
So it's going to be a good one. This is Sunday night, everybody. Don't forget that. Get up during the day, morning, watch your football. But Sunday night, that's the big game.
Come Monday, man, I'm going to have worse Forrest Whitaker eye than I do right now.
And that is hard to believe.
I mean, look at this.
Oh, you're a freak.
There we go. I finally got to work on this one. I think there's some exercises.
Don't do that. Back over the ice real quick, Mike, before we go do our picks. Mike Sullivan gets his 300th win last night in the 6-1 win over the Kings. 300 wins. I'm sorry. It doesn't even seem like Mike Sullivan has been at the head at the position for that long, but he has. Yeah. That's what happens when you win.
Yeah. Hold on. I want to take a look at something here. Oh my God! If I knew how to type. The 300 wins. Shut up. I was just trying to see the last time we actually won a playoff series. It's all impressive that he's got.
I think it was the last game that we won the Stanley Cup, wasn't it?
I think so. That was the last time we won a playoff series. So that's all well and good, regular season success, but my man can't get it done in the postseason anymore. It might be time for a change.
You know what? That's not.
It's
well,
not
Mike, that's not outlandish. That's what we've done in the past. We've done that with Michel Therrien after he takes us to the Cup. We've done that with Bosma. It just takes a little bit of being non-successful in hockey for the people to pull the trigger and get a new coach, because what a lot of times, especially what I've seen here in Pittsburgh, you get that new coach, the team really rallies around them, and every time we've done that, we've went on to win. When you get rid of Michel Therrien and you put in Bosma, what happened? They win the next year. When you get rid of Bosma and you put in Sullivan, what they do? They won the next year. So it is enough. It's effective in the NHL, certainly here in Pittsburgh. But I think that the guy just got 300 wins. How?
Oh, no. You're not going to. I'm being kind of like tongue in cheek. But
absolutely.
But it also comes back to it's they flamed out in the playoffs for the past couple of years. You can blame goaltending, you can blame all players being hurt, but it still comes down, to the man behind the bench.
Absolutely.
But do I want Sully gone? No, but. You gotta. If we're gonna talk about one coach one way, you gotta talk about the other coach the same way.
Yeah,
they both had success with others. If you want to say how people say, "Oh, Tomlin only won with coward players," well, Sully only won with the other coach's players.
He's won with like 3 coaches' players. If you think about it, these guys have been around for so long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think no. They're not going to get rid of Sully. I don't think they should. But if we flame out in the first round again, I think seriously in the offseason, you have to look at it. But the way he has the team playing right now, and everyone's healthy, and
3-1, we're scoring 6 goals per game at home.
They're playing tough. So I think we finally got players who's fresher legs on the team now that we can still play that up tempo type of way that he likes to play. Like, you just skate faster and harder when things don't work. Now you're getting guys in here now that haven't had their legs skated off from long playoff runs in the past, and age, it's, even though they're an older team, they're showing right now that they're going to be, if they can keep this pressure up the way they've been playing, they're going to be dangerous.
And obviously the big news from the Penguins yesterday, they revealed the Robo Pen jersey, the retro jersey, which had the pigeon. It has the pigeon from the 1992 season that they cracked out 30 years ago. It's a little different. The design up around the shoulders is a little different. There are a few differences, but they brought back the Robo Penguin yesterday, guys. So get out and get your new Robo Penguin shirts.
Why would you spend that much on toilet paper? You can go down to the store and get Charmin for a whole hell of a lot less. Like, anyone who says they like that jersey, I'm sorry, you are just trolling. You're just trying to get a reaction out of people.
Yeah.
Because it is a hideous jersey. I've seen people, this is the jersey from my childhood. I'm sorry, then your childhood sucked. CYS should have come and taken you away and shown you what a real Penguin jersey was. Like,
yes.
That's the jersey that we wore, and then we lost. We were on our way for for a three-peat. We get that stupid fucking pigeon, and then we lose. That thing was a farce and a joke. Everyone hated it. Now these people, oh my god, I love it. No, you're a troll. You're a troll, and I hope terrible things happen to you. Like terrible, like you trip and fall down, not that you die or anything.
Yeah.
So let's keep it under control here. But no,
I'm going to do some picks, Mike.
pick these nuts.
I'll go down through the games. I'll tell you who I'm going to pick first. So I can't change it once you know what I mean?
You like to change them up.
The first game on the list is the Browns at the Ravens. I'm taking Baltimore. They're both very inconsistent. One team is 2-3, 2-4. I'm sorry, the other team is 3-3. It's at Baltimore. I just think that Cleveland is a little. You know what? They both given up late game.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. I can't see myself ever taking the Browns at anything. I'm going with.
All right. I'm also going to take Baltimore. One, it's at Baltimore, and like Lamar said, we are tired of losing. We're tired of playing this way, and yeah, I don't think Harbaugh's going to let them lose this one, and I think Lamar is not going to let them lose either.
Second game, like big important compare, by what we were just talking about, the Bucs at the Panthers. Now the Panthers don't have their star running back anymore. The struggling Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady not having an ideal season. Who do you got in Tampa Bay at Carolina?
I'm taking Tampa Bay, Carolina, like P. Morton said, they show me you're not tanking without telling me you're tanking.
Yeah,
they are in full tank mode. They just traded one of their top wide receivers and then traded their best player.
I'm going to say this: a dilapidated Carolina Panthers beats a Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're not in the game. Their head's not in the game. It hasn't been for the whole season. We looked at the numbers last year. They're basically just as bad as we are as far as some areas go. I'm going to say the scruffy. They're just one of these teams that they just need some bad things to happen during the game. And bad things never happen to Tom Brady, but it's a different feel. It's a different time. It's a change. I'm saying the Carolina Panthers at home beat the Buccaneers.
Baker Mayfield beat Brady.
Yeah.
Why not? Game. Trubisky beat him.
The Falcons and the Bengals, Mike. The Falcons at the Bengals. I so far have seen the Falcons win some games they shouldn't have won. I've seen them have a comeback against Cleveland, I believe. But that is not going to change my mind. I think that the Bengals seriously they feel that they need to get back in some kind of control with the team that they have, coming off a Super Bowl and probably, roster-wise, pound for pound, maybe the best team in the division. I say at home, the Bengals will beat Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm just struggling to figure out how the hell Atlanta is 3-3.
Yeah.
That's whew. But I'm still going to take the Bengals at home. The Bengals aren't having the greatest year this year, but they have the weapons on offense and they have the good enough defense to get it done. So
for the love of Pete, just freaking beat the Falcons, Bengals.
I kind of want the Falcons to win. We need the Falcons to win as Steelers fans, but as a rational person, I think that they should defeat Atlanta.
The Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys. I think one of these games, just one of these games, the Lions are going to break out and have a good game. And it's going to be against a team that they probably shouldn't beat. Dak Prescott coming back.
Uh-huh.
I'm going with the Lions. I know I've said I wasn't going to do this ever again the rest of my life, but I'm taking the Lions.
This does have the potential to be an upset. Dak's coming back, right? Dak's coming back. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has all the makings to be like, oh, Dak's going to come riding in on the white horse, reclaim the team. But, and then, that Detroit could upset them. But I just don't see it with this Detroit team. I think Dan Campbell is slowly losing control of this team. They're going to start tuning him out and his weird sayings. It was fun while it lasted. I'm going to go with Dallas.
All right. So that's two games that we have different opinions on. Next game is going to be the Giants and Jaguars. I'm taking the Jaguars in this game. It's at Jacksonville. We had this conversation a little bit ago, so I'm not going to get real far into it, but I am going to take Jacksonville.
I'm going New York, man. There's something about them this year. They seem kind of plucky. They got an attitude about them. They're getting, I'm going with the Giants. Saquon Barkley.
Lucky, I like that.
Yeah.
The Packers at Washington. I you know what? I'm taking Green Bay.
I'm taking the Commanders with the upset.
Are you?
I am. I just, yeah.
You know what? I did too. I kind of I'm back and forth with
I
this
know.
game.
I
don't even know why.
I was waiting for you to say it, because you started to. You had that feeling, but
I'm never taking Washington again until they change their name back. So that gives you an
so
idea.
you're never gonna pick them.
That gives you an idea when the next time I'm going to
They're
take
making so much money on that new merchandise, man.
Are they? Terrible.
I hate picking Washington because Dan Snyder's a scumbag, but I think this is the one. I think Green Bay's slowly going.
I do like their new Steeler uniforms, though. That
do. See, I kind of want them to Green Bay to lose, so that way they panic and then offer more for Claypool.
Right. Maybe a first round, all the receivers second round, first round the next year as well.
Yeah,
and we'll give you our starting tight end, our starting tackle right now.
Throw Bakari.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
All right, so we you got Washington, I got the Pack.
Yeah.
Next game, Colts and Titans, a heavy hitters matchup in the AFC South between the Colts at the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
I'm going Tennessee on this one. I know the Colts are better in record, but you know what? The Titans have a little bit too much going on. I mean, they have a running back. They have a decent team, a decent coach. I can't see them just getting beat every week, week in, week out. I think this is a game that they win because it has a little bit of meaning in the division, and the Colts are a little bit better than them record-wise. I'm taking the Tennessee Titans in this game, Mike.
Man, you got Jonathan Taylor going up against Travis Henry, two of the best running backs in the league. I'm just like, that's the slight edge to Tennessee just because it's at home. And, Matt Ryan to me is still inconsistent. He's just,
You say, so you want Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm taking Tennessee as well.
Okay.
If it was in India, I would want the other one.
Also from the AFC South, the Houston Texans travel to Las Vegas to play the hated Raiders. Now, I haven't seen anything that the Raiders have done this year that impresses me at all. However, the Houston Texans are maybe one of the least impressive teams to me overall. I think this is a shit game. I'm going with the Raiders just because they're a little less shitty than the Texans.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders as well. I was trying to talk myself into the Texans. I was just like, come on. I'm picking a couple upsets here, and I was like, I was gonna keep that theme going, but no, Texans are not it.
Yeah. The Jets at the Broncos, Mike. I'm going with the Jets in this game just because that I'm doing the Jets thing this year. My little side team, my side piece is the New York Jets. And they've been playing well. And guess what? They're outscoring everybody by plus 48 in the fourth quarter, all season long. They're the leader. I'm going to go with the Jets. The Broncos haven't showed me shit. Oh. I was certainly expecting more from Russell Wilson and the Broncos. They are showing me way less than I even the bottom tier of what I expected, Mike. It's worse than that. So
I'm taking the Jets as well, and I'm predicting there's going to be a dust up between the receivers and Russell Wilson this game.
Yeah,
I get to see KJ Hamler finally having enough of being wide open and not even being targeted and looked at, or streaking down the field and standing in the end zone doing jumping jacks trying to get attention. I can see KJ Hamler just finally having enough. Yelling at him and the head coach, because the head coach benched their best running back last week and then promised to, maybe mix him in this week. There's a lot of turmoil on that team, so I'm going Jets, Jets.
I like it. Here's a good game, Mike. I think that this might be one of the better games of the weekend. The Kansas City Chiefs travel to San Francisco to play the 49ers. I think that anything could happen in this game for many reasons. Ultimately, I say the Chiefs win. But I say that San Fran, they're gonna be playing with a new vote of confidence. You know, they got McCaffrey coming over. You have Garoppolo, who the team's played, you know, exceptionally better since since he's got back under center. San Fran, like you said, it's almost a win now. They have to win now. So I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be a great game. Maybe one of the best ones of the weekend. But I think Kansas City ultimately wins. They are ultimately the best team, and and they're still in their run. Their run of seasons where you see this. They win big games. That's what they do. I go Kansas City in a game that I think is going to be a really good football game.
I'm stupid for this, but I'm going to take San Francisco.
I don't think it's that stupid.
Even though, like, McCaffrey, he's going to only have, like, a day of walkthroughs.
Yeah.
He's really not going to get a chance to practice. And they're not going to not play him this game, so they're going to come up with, give him the base plays. And guys, he's a smart football player.
He's smart.
You have to be smart to play at this level anyway. So I think they're going to be pumped. Kansas City, they're in their run, but they're slowly losing their luster as unbeatable.
I agree.
And I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going San Francisco. I want it to be a blowout from Kansas City, but I am going to San Francisco.
I think once they shipped out Tyreek Hill and brought in Juju, I think that was the point for me because Tyreek Hill is. He's next level, man.
Yeah, he stretches that field like Brian Flores said. He was asked this week, like, what are you going to do? Prepare your defense to go against Tyreek Hill. I was like, well, I guess I can bring some mopeds or some cars out onto the practice field because he's that fast. And you take him away from that offense, you still have weapons there. But he's stretching the field deep. Kelsey across the middle, opening up for everyone else. Now you take away that big deep threat.
And Juju, I mean, he looks as average as he always did.
Yeah, every once in a while he'll hit that quick slant that he gets positioning on, but he's not the burner.
He's good average.
Yeah.
Next game, Mike, Seattle at Los Angeles Chargers. Seattle.
Smith, I'm riding that horse.
You're taking Seattle. I'm taking the Chargers on this one, man.
The Chargers have let me down too much.
They have, but they gotta win at some point, right?
They have to, and
I mean, Herbert's got to win a game every now and then. The kid's, great back there.
I'm still riding that Geno Smith. They're about 500, but Geno's playing G, and the game's close. And
the most anticipated game around here, of course, for the weekend, we have the Steelers at the Dolphins. I'm going Steelers. I told you that earlier. I'm not going to go against what I'd said. Steelers are my pick in Miami this week.
I'm going Miami.
Mike's taking Miami.
I think they're just who's going to cover Tyreek? Who's going to cover Waddle?
I would.
Who's going to cover Gesicki?
What they used to call that cherry pick, and I would cherry pick. I would take a guy from my offensive line, put him on the sideline, and get a seventh DB, and just put him back 50 yards all game long. And you know what? And if he even moved from that spot, you know what I mean? Don't even
kick him.
Yeah, you could kick him. He comes on the sideline, everyone would kick him. But he would be the cherry picker. So anything that turned into a long ball, he could play outfield.
Play 3 deep.
Yeah. Yes, I like that. And here's the thing: it isn't like we're blowing people away, breaking through the offensive line and getting sacks and creating pressure. Yeah. If the guy's going to stand back there anyway, you might as well send an extra DB back.
Don't worry, we'll put Spillane on him.
You know what? By the way that Tomlin was praising Spillane this week, I wouldn't be surprised. He had a lot of great things to say about him. He said he's very.
Why do Pittsburgh always, every coach, even like Howard, they get that scrappy little white guy that they love?
Yeah.
They're try hard, but come on now.
Yeah.
This guy runs like a 5.5 40.
Yeah. Finally, the Monday Night Football game, the Bears at the Patriots, Mike. The Bears at the Patriots. There's a matchup for the
There's a great game. Oh, glad I'll be sleeping for that one. I'm gonna go with the Patriots because the Bears suck.
Yeah.
And they're ruining another quarterback.
Ain't that a shame? That's what they do.
That's what they do.
I'm gonna have to go with the Patriots too. I have no confidence that the Bears are gonna win this football game. None
whatsoever.
So there you have it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 games that we picked against each other. wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. So if we do in fact tie again, we'll figure something out like we did last week. Maybe go to an over under for the Monday Night Football game. But that's our picks, Mike. That's our picks. We're logged in for the week. A couple other real quick stories. We are starting to run a little short on time. We do want to say the prayers out to the Nash family. Kevin Nash's 26-year-old son, Tristan Nash, passed away yesterday. It's unfortunate to hear. Mike, I was reading that yesterday was actually Scott Hall's birthday.
Yeah, it was Scott Hall's birthday.
Wow.
I mean, his son died the same day, like his best friend's birthday.
Yeah.
That's raw.
So, thoughts out to the family. I just, oh, God, what's going on? The trailer is out, Mike, for the new movie, A Man Called Otto. You remember when Tom Hanks was in town this summer shooting for a movie in a nearby town, just down there. The trailer is out for the new Tom Hanks movie if you want to check that out. A Man Called Otto.
That's a weird title.
Also, keep your eye open. Beetlejuice 2, getting ready to start putting that. It's going to be a Tim Burton film, and it's going to be starring Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp and Beetlejuice 2. I'm going to be very interested to see that. I don't really get into the these movies that they get from a long time ago and they do them again or create a second one. But this Beetlejuice will be the movie that I do get into.
Nope, the only Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton.
Finally, Texas man accused of killing a woman after she beat him in a game of basketball, Mike. He loses to this chick in a game of basketball, gets upset, and kills her.
Talk about toxic masculinity. Damn, bro.
Either that or, man, get your game on. What you doing?
Work on your game, bro.
Man.
I'm disappointed.
Mike, why don't you go tell everybody about the website?
2dumyinzers.com. Head on over there now. We have links to YouTube
right now.
YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Facebook, Twitter, everything. 2dumyinzers at 2dumyinzers.com.
And there you are, everybody. And don't forget, we are live Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. over on YouTube. You want to please keep continuing to check us out. We always love to hear from you, see from you. And also, this show that we're doing right now will be recorded and put up on Spotify later on today, right around 8 o'clock, and you can just listen to the show in podcast form. Mike, we do have the last Miami Dolphin. How well do you know your enemy? Trivia of the week. Now, Mike hasn't done very well, but I promised him I would throw him. I threw him a big beach ball, an underhand beach ball, and he was going to have the big red wiffle ball bat in his hand. So I don't think you're going to be able to mess with this one, Mike. I threw you a. Just wait. All right. Do you have your pencil?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the last question of the week, Mike, for the Miami Dolphins. Next week we play Philadelphia, huh?
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Question of the week. Question of the day. Where did Dan Marino go to college? Where did Dan Marino go to college?
He's only the second best quarterback to come out of there. You know, we got the greatest quarterback now playing for the Steelers at the Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Marino won 2 Penn State. Or no, wait, was it WVU? Youngstown State? McMurray State. McNichol State.
All right. Put down your pencils, everybody. So the question of the day, the last Miami Dolphins question. Where did Dan Marino go to college?
What is this voice you've been doing recently?
That's my
I fucking hate you.
Alex Trebek. Okay. So Mike, you should be able to handle this one. Where in fact did Dan Marino go to college?
Pitt.
So you're saying the Pitt Panthers. Is that your final answer?
Yes, he played for Pitt Panthers at Pitt University.
Okay, so we got you and Morton both agree. P. Morton also says Pitt. Ian, that's what you want to lock in?
Lock it in.
All right, locking it in. Locking it in, P. Here we go. the last question of the week. Where did Dan Marino go to college? And the guys both said Pitt.
You know it's right.
There you go. Hey, there you go. Mike really tackling the hard questions.
Oh,
here.
yes. I am getting hard questions answered like a pro.
But P, you were also correct. The answer, of course, was the University of Pittsburgh, and who Mike was referring to as being the best quarterback for all time out of Pitt. It would be Kenny Pickett. I'm sure of that.
My favorite Steelers quarterback ever. Kenny Four Picks.
But hey, everybody, it is time. It is time. We're heading to the weekend. We have Pitt tomorrow night. We have Penn State tomorrow. We have the Steelers Sunday night against the Miami Dolphins. If you love football, this weekend's for you. Don't forget to miss the games. We'll be back first thing Monday morning to talk all about all these games. Hey, Mike, do you have anything before we take off for the weekend, sir?
Go Steelers.
Go Steelers. For Ryan, Mike, the two Dum Yinzers, have a great weekend.